Hello and welcome to this episode of A Day in the Life of. Today I'm delighted to welcome Mark Stone. Thanks so much for joining us today. Mark's a NIST Cybersecurity professional. He's recently passed his exam and he's here today to tell us a little bit about the training, the course and how he uses it in his day-to-day role. Mark, can I hand over to you to tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Yep, sure. Thanks for having me on. As I say, my name's Mark. I've been working in the finance industry here in Guernsey for around 20 years. Started off primarily in sort of finance accountancy-based roles and then moved more into business analysis, project management and that sort of thing.
So you came from business analysis through to cybersecurity. What made you decide to take this course?
So there's a couple of reasons, really. The local regulator here in Guernsey has just implemented rules that licensed firms have to abide by, and they are based on the NIST Cybersecurity framework. So that made a logical choice from that point of view. But also NIST has been around for a while now, and it's definitely there as one of the real sort of benchmark frameworks for organisations looking to make themselves more secure from the threats that they face in this day and age. So yeah, really it was a bit of a no-brainer to go for NIST really as a basis.
There's a lot of courses out there for cybersecurity. I'm going to refer to my notes here. The NIST Cybersecurity course, or NCSP, is the industry's first accredited training programme designed to help organisations and individuals engineer and implement the NIST Cybersecurity framework across their organisation and supply chain. So that's what this course is about. Yep. What made you choose this particular course out of all the cybersecurity courses that are available out there?
So I think one of the things that NIST is very good at is that it puts cybersecurity into a language that most business professionals can understand. So you don't need to have a deeply technical understanding of the IT aspects of it to understand how the framework can assist a business, particularly around sort of the governance, supply chain management, how to handle incident response and recover from an incident, that sort of thing.
Is it a very implementable course, the knowledge and the learning?
Yeah, definitely. Again, one of the great things about the NIST framework and how the course presents it is it's very scalable. It started life with the US government and was designed to protect critical infrastructure, but equally it can be used to support, 2-3 man organizations, that sort of size. Really, it's just a way of structuring your thoughts around security and getting it more prominent in day-to-day business decisions.
How do you see yourself implementing what you've learned in your day-to-day role, or what you would normally do, Mark?
So I'm actually just in the process of changing roles, and I'll be working much more in a change management and sort of project management business analysis function. And I think one of the key things with the NIST framework is that effectively almost every project these days has a digital component. More and more things are moving online. Plus, that's what customers want. It's what clients expect. It's how organizations are operating. So a lot of the content from the NIST framework, as I say, is in business relatable terms. So it's making sure that security is a consideration in the outset of those projects rather than being something that you look at towards the end or worse after you've implemented it. Like I say, it's really getting security into that thought process and business decision making process rather than being something that's siloed off to the side. And I think that's one of the sort of the really important things that the course picks up on, and the NIST framework in general, is that cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility. It's not your IT department. It's not an InfoSec team. Everybody has a role to play in keeping an organization secure.
So with that being said, if you think everybody has a role to play, who do you think should be the key market to look at this course? Is it everybody? Who do you think should be attending this course?
I think anybody would benefit from doing it without a shadow of a doubt, that's working with sort of online technologies. But I think particularly people in the governance space, so boards of directors, particularly more operational based roles, I think it gives a really good grounding on the things that you can implement within your organization to keep you secure. Compliance professionals as well. Compliance are getting more and more involved in this space. As I mentioned, Guernsey has put rules in place. I think other jurisdictions will follow suit. So it'll start falling more and more in that area. And also anyone that has oversight of the IT function as a whole as well. If security is part of that, then it'll help you really understand how you can get the support that you need from the governance side of your organizations to really drive that security aspect within the organization.
So you mentioned that you don't need to be deeply technical to go into this role, and you're in fact moving more into the change management role. So it could even be for change and project managers that are working on anything that's technology related,
yeah,
IT related.
Absolutely. As I touched on, almost every project these days has a technology element and an online technology element in particular, and with that comes risks. So yeah, it's quite a versatile course.
So it sounds like you've had a really good experience through the training there, Mark, and it's fabulous to hear that. So it sounds very much like you would recommend it to other people. But if someone did ask you about it and they were looking for a cybersecurity course, is this one that you would recommend to people?
Yeah, definitely. Particularly if you're in those sorts of roles that I mentioned. I think, as I said, it's not deeply technical. So it tells you things like you need to know that you have to configure your firewalls, for example. It doesn't tell you how to do that. So there are other courses that would be more beneficial for those doing the sort of the hands-on IT security side of things. But certainly from a governance aspect, from understanding how you can make an organization as a whole more secure, not just from the technical point of view, but on your operational controls and on your humans as well. Your people, they're a huge part of this.
Most important part.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if someone does something silly, it doesn't matter how much money you've spent on the technical aspects. If you leave the back door open, bad things will happen. But yeah, so certainly from that point of view, I'd absolutely recommend the course.
Mark, thanks so much for taking the time to share your experience with us, and it's brilliant to hear that you've had such a positive experience. Should anybody be looking into cybersecurity or into this course, or has heard anything that they're interested in talking to you about, are you happy for them to connect with you on LinkedIn to follow up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm out there on LinkedIn, so feel free to drop me a message.
That's wonderful. We'll share your LinkedIn address in the notes below on this video. Mark Stone, thank you so very much indeed. Hope to catch up with you again in the future once you've started implementing it even further in your new role, and congratulations.
See, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.